From dancing with Katy Perry on Saturday Night Live to breaking down in the middle of a live stream, my name is Ryan and we're gonna find out how the Backpack Kid's life completely fell apart after his 15 minutes of fame, starting with the bedroom videos that changed everything. Russell Horning, aka the Backpack Kid, was just another 14-year-old kid from Atlanta, Georgia, who loved dancing so much that he started posting dancing videos on social media in early 2016. Most of his early content are the same unedited videos with weird rigid arm movements along with a straight face expression. However, viewers couldn't help but be fascinated by his dance, with comments like, "I'm picking this up for the next party," and "I don't know why I like this so much." But then his videos started getting more and more attention from the internet, to the point that even the legendary Rihanna reposted one of his floss videos to celebrate her Grammy nomination on Instagram. Little did he know, his stiff arm dancing would soon explode into a global sensation, and on May 21st, 2017, Katy Perry invited Russell to dance on Saturday Night Live during her hit song Swish Swish performance. Wearing his signature backpack, flossing with a deadpan expression, and immediately he became a global phenomenon, with comments saying, "When you're dead inside but you still want to party," and "There's something oddly hypnotic about this kid." Russell then started appearing on mainstream media.
Can you describe that feeling being on stage, performing with Katy Perry?
It's super nerve-wracking because if you mess up on live TV, you cannot go back from that.
And even appeared on Katy Perry's Swish Swish official music video. As a result, creators all over the internet started making dance tutorials, and one video even hit 15 million views because everyone was so obsessed with it. His deadpan expression and his signature stiff arm dance were recognized everywhere, to the point that even a 70-year-old woman got on top of the trend, as well as NFL players during their touchdown celebrations. Even the legendary football player Zlatan Ibrahimovic couldn't help but get on board, and the mega famous K-pop boy band BTS and Jimmy Fallon had to join as well. But while Russell was still trying to process his newfound fame, something much bigger was happening. The floss dance was spreading far beyond his control, and massive corporations were already figuring out how to profit from the sensation. In December 2017, Epic Games, the creators of Fortnite, added an emote called Floss to their massively popular video game, and it didn't take long for it to become one of the most famous emotes in the game. Research shows Fortnite made $318 million from selling the cosmetic items in May 2018, and most of the sales come from selling emotes. But Russell, the one who made the dance move famous worldwide, received nothing from the flossing emote.
And it's in Fortnite now, right?
Yeah.
It's like one of the kill dances. Did you get any royalties or anything from this?
No.
No? Have you got compensated at all? You think you should? I feel like you should.
I think I should.
So in December 2018, the Backpack Kid's parents filed a lawsuit against Epic Games for his iconic dance. However, in early 2019, Russell dropped his lawsuit because of the Supreme Court legislation that requires creators to get a response from the US Copyright Office before suing, which isn't something that Russell had done, because as it turned out, he wasn't the one who actually invented the floss dance. As one Reddit user pointed out, there are others who did the flossing way before Russell did, like this guy from 2014. And there's even a video of people flossing back from 2011, as well as going far back into 2010. As a result, the lawsuit didn't sit well with most people, with comments saying, "Imagine you sue Backpack Kid instead. That would be perfect karma." And considering how far back this dance is going, I wouldn't be surprised if we found cave writings of the floss. However, when reporters asked Russell about losing the lawsuit, his response showed maturity that was surprising for someone who had just lost out on potential millions.
I mean, me personally, I don't really care about the money like that. I'm just kind of worried about my birthday tomorrow, and I'm dropping this EP soon. I have more stuff to worry about.
While Russell was putting on a brave face about losing the Fortnite lawsuit, he was able to make a series of decisions that would turn the same internet that loved him into his biggest enemy. By late 2018, Russell was facing a harsh reality. The floss dance had made him famous, but that fame was starting to fade as new viral trends took over. But instead of accepting this natural cycle of internet attention and moving on, Russell announced he was pivoting to music with his first single Flossin' featuring DJ Suede the Remix God. Although the music video got 18 million views, it was mostly due to the hype around his earlier fame because the music was an absolute disaster, with people saying things like, "This is a prime example of why it's okay to shut your kids down on their dreams sometimes. And this is why you don't drink or smoke during pregnancy. But that wasn't enough to stop Russell, as he continued releasing more songs like Drip on a Boat featuring Swag Hollywood or Balenciaga's featuring Smokey Margiela. But each song gets less views than the one before it, especially the track Balenciaga's, which became a lightning rod for criticism. Comment sections were filled with negative reviews saying, "My mom is hearing this in the background. What is that dying rat I hear? I'm gonna press charges for you damaging my ears." But instead of stepping back and reassessing everything, Russell doubled down. He started showing up at hip-hop events, trying to make his way into a world that had already rejected him, but even then the result wasn't what he expected. It was when Russell flossed on stage while rapper Albie Al was spitting bars, but instead of vibing with each other, what Albie Al did would become one of the most embarrassing moments of Russell's career. By 2019, the situation had reached a breaking point. Every single attempt Russell made to stay relevant was flooded with hate comments. "That kid is so irrelevant, it's actually kinda hilarious to see him trying to be famous again. Leave Backpack Kid in 2018, please." Everyone on the internet was turning their back against him during this period. Even Russell himself had to address it on a podcast with Adam22.
Yeah, at this point, I'm getting so much hate for no reason. When you look at the comments, you see more hate comments than you do love comments.
However, Russell seemed to believe that the problem with his career wasn't his lack of talent, but rather his approach. He decided to rebrand himself as a serious music producer and beat maker, thinking this would finally earn him the respect he'd been looking for. By late 2022, Russell began posting TikToks showcasing what he called his beat-making abilities using computer software and an electric piano. But instead of the respect and admiration Russell was hoping for, the chat was filled with people roasting his beats with comments like, "He never fails to disappoint," and "Bro starts from the bottom and continues to go down." And people would often roast him by calling his beat a goofy-up beat. But his terrible beats actually became popular TikTok sounds, as there is one specific beat that gained over 5,700 videos using it as a sound, but only for joke and meme videos. Despite that, Russell continued to create beat after beat, while thousands of people in the chat were calling his music garbage. Then during one particular stream, the weight of all of the hate finally broke him on camera.
Do y'all have any idea that I'm actually a human being too? Do y'all have any idea that I'm an actual human being too? Yeah, I come on these lives and I do this and I do that, or I play the piano, or I do this DJing or whatever. I'm just trying to inspire people.
This was the moment Russell realized that his reputation was completely destroyed. The same internet that had once celebrated his quirky dance moves now saw him as an annoying presence who wouldn't go away. And by June 2024, Russell seemed to realize that his music attempts were only making things worse, so he launched a podcast.
I'm starting the Up One podcast, but I'm not hosting as Backpack Kid, I'm hosting as Russell Horning, my real name.
He then continued to explain why he chose to rebrand himself instead of staying as the Backpack Kid.
Backpack Kid doesn't know about substance abuse, tragic death and loss, getting arrested, mental health, life problems. Maybe he doesn't, but Russell sure does. This is going to be my first official beginning to rebranding into my real name as I start to get older and chase new opportunities.
But the announcement reel was flooded with dismissive comments that showed exactly how little faith the internet had in Russell's latest rebrand. "I promise, bro, no one cares. Just get a job, your 15 minutes is over." The comments revealed the harsh reality Russell was facing. Even when he was trying to talk about real issues, people still only saw him as the Backpack Kid who should stick to dancing. The first episode dropped on June 28th, 2024 on YouTube, but within a month of launching, the Up One podcast was already abandoned. No third episode was ever released, and by 2026, the podcast remained dead, barely having any views, with just 2 episodes serving as evidence of another failed attempt at chasing clout. Just as Russell was dealing with his podcast failure, he got what seemed like a golden opportunity, an appearance on Kai Cenat's massive Twitch stream alongside comedian Drewski and Kevin Hart. Instead, it became one of the most publicly humiliating moments of his entire career. Russell was demonstrating his piano skills to the massive audience, then Drewski did the most unexpected thing ever.
How y'all like it?
I know I want to hear no f***ing piano, nigga. This is 2024, nigga. The f*** out of here with that jiggle bullshit.
Don't worry, I like it.
Nigga ass shit.
Hey, bro, you gonna go places.
Of course, Russell didn't take it easy.
I didn't forget what you said.
What you gotta say, nigga?
You said I could die. I didn't do nothing to you, bro. I didn't do nothing to you, bro. You said I could die.
And even Kevin Hart joined in as well.
Hey! You heard me say? Get him out! Get him out first!
Damn it! Get him out! Wait, and then
Fuck
get
about
this
that
fucking
bullshit,
keyboard, this cheap ass keyboard out
Yeah,
here.
get that cheap ass.
No, it's alright, bro.
As Drewski continued the assault, things escalated even more after Russell brought up a watermelon juice bottle in front of the trio.
Hey there, dumbass.
Okay, hold
Why don't you start dancing again? Hit the jerk out.
Wait, no, come on, let's be
And you got what, this watermelon?
Hey,
I went back.
What kind of shit? Oh, really?
What type of racist
Oh, you
shit?
get this stuff. Hey, get the fuck off. Keep moving.
What type of racist?
While some people were laughing at the humiliation, thinking that all of this was staged, others felt uncomfortable, saying things like, "I can't look at Drewski the same way anymore. Backpack Kid was just trying to play and he ruined it." That was actually disgusting. This kid used to piss me off with his corny dance personality and face, but I feel so bad for him. The Kaisenat stream incident proved that even when Russell managed to get onto major platforms, people still saw him as a joke to be mocked. But Russell wasn't ready to give up yet. Even after years of failed attempts, Russell finally tried something different. Russell attended acting classes at Nick Conti's professional actors studio in Atlanta, fine-tuning his method acting techniques and working to distance himself from the Backpack Kid persona. And gradually, Russell started getting actual character roles that had nothing to do with the floss dance. By 2023, Russell landed a recurring role in the podcast sitcom Flula Makes 5, appearing in 12 episodes as a side character. Then in 2024, Russell got a role in an actual feature film bonus strip as mentor in this FBI conspiracy action comedy. For 2025, Russell had multiple projects lined up, suggesting that Russell is getting further away from his Backpack Kid images. Although he's making progress, these are only small roles, essentially nothing compared to his glory days as the Backpack Kid. But there was one question Russell's acting success couldn't answer. Could it bring him back to his old fame? By 2025, the internet was full of videos with titles like The Fall of the Backpack Kid and The Very Disturbing Downfall of Backpack Kid, documenting Russell's career collapse. But instead of letting other creators profit from his downfall story, Russell decided to make his own downfall documentary about himself.
I'm seeing people get millions of views on this topic, so I might as well make my own video, get my own engagement.
While referring to the Backpack Kid as a third person.
Some reports say that he was even caught on the side of the road flossing, begging for money so that he could pay rent. Sounds to me like he needs to pack it up.
And rather than deny the reality of the situation, he was embracing it and turning it into content. In response to a user on TikTok who commented, "You get a job," he posted videos of himself working as a cashier. But it wasn't Russell's only normal job. He also posted videos of himself doing DJing gigs and landscaping work, and people were surprised to see a completely new side of him, with comments saying, "Bro went from flossing on stage with Katy Perry to landscaping. The fall off is insane." This led to Russell's most creative pivot yet, a series called One Shift Wonder.
Starting January 1st, I'm gonna begin to drop episodes where I go to different trades and workplaces and jobs and just work one shift. Kind of like the early 2000s, from fast food to building work to retail, anything that interests.
But while Russell was finding ways to make his day jobs into content, he was also working on something more meaningful than chasing clout. Russell started speaking at schools and community events about suicide prevention and mental health awareness, drawing from his own experiences with the dark side of viral fame. His Instagram and TikTok bios now featured mental health advocate, showing a genuine commitment to using his platform for something beyond entertainment. But despite his huge following on social media, his engagement rate is terribly low at only 0.02% on Instagram and 1% on TikTok. And the latest addition to Russell's life came in February 2025 when he started training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and even participated in a competition documenting another attempt at finding purpose in something completely unrelated to his viral past. But the truth is simple, the Backpack Kid's 15 minutes are officially up. His life now looks nothing like the Hollywood dreams he had as a teenager, and no amount of martial arts training can change the fact that his moment in history is over. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy these ones as well, and don't forget to subscribe.